we're not standing still. There are a number of things that we are currently doing which are going to increase that. Even if we do nothing new, just actions that have already been taken in the district that will increase that over the next couple of years. Mathematics in terms of geometry and algebra are being pushed further and further down into the pre-high school levels. I've got children who've taken both of those before they've gotten to high school, and that's going to inevitably result, not inevitably, that will likely result in increased passes in the future. The same is going to be true of a course like Mandarin, which until 2 years ago was only taught at the high school, and now students not only have the opportunity to take Spanish and French, but they also have the option to take Mandarin instead, starting in the 7th grade. Unlike Spanish and French, though, it's the full high school version of Mandarin, and so when they finish their 7th and 8th grade years of Mandarin, they're ready for 11th grade Mandarin at that point, and they'll be ready for the IB test. And so I think that that's going to show an increase. I've talked with Richard any number of times. Many of his ideas have influenced our discussions over the last couple of years. Some of our actions have been influenced by that. I appreciate what he's doing here. I encourage the members of the community to come out and vote for it, because I think it's a great thing for us as a school board. It's only advisory. As us as a school board to be thinking about how can we challenge our best students.
Thank you. And Mike?
I find it interesting you mentioned Mandarin. A lot of people don't know this, but Mandarin is the #1 language in the entire world. But it's only not geographically, it's limited to China and Indochina, within that region. I'm in favor of standardization, but quality. I like to see STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, and math, creep down to the middle level layers of the elementary schools and middle schools. I don't believe in watering down testing. I don't believe in teaching to the test. And I have some major concerns in that respect about teaching to the test. I like to see the core standards. I like to see the breakout, how they're graded. I want to see the math, how they're doing this. I want to get down to the finite levels, okay, to actually validate and verify the consistency of the program and the assessment techniques that they're using.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And Scott, would you like to add a minute? No? Mike, how about you? Any more time?
No, I'm just wondering if Scott and I are not separated at the birth. Can we separate one seat down there in the school?
Well, thank you, guys. That's the end of the questions, and it is now time for closing remarks. And Mike, we'll start with you.
Thank you. It's nice to have a script. I want to thank the Bedford Men's Club for sponsoring this event, Jeff Benson for moderating it, BCTV for hosting it, and my opponent, Scott Inshore, for the opportunity to establish a dialogue concerning student welfare. I especially want to thank all those who have sent in questions, have watched this debate live, or will watch it on replays, for it is you who will determine the future of the school district. In the interest of brevity and allow everyone to prepare for tomorrow's blizzard, I'll keep my closing remarks short. I'm a lifelong learner and a professional educator. I've dedicated myself to teaching, whether it be through my standard job description, or informal on an everyday basis with whomever I come in contact with. I care about students, especially those in high school, and want all to succeed in all endeavors from their formative education in K-12 through to post-graduation, whether it be undergraduate or graduate level education or entering the workforce. In both cases, they were expected to excel and to contribute to society. Proper preparation makes one more competitive. I'm here to offer my talent and services, which includes leadership management and teaching acumen to the Bedford School District. In that respect, I ask for your support. My curriculum vitae, my resume, is available for review to anybody that wants it. Just send me a request to Kenny50, Keney50 at AOL.com. One last plug. The National Weather Bureau, when they assign names for hurricanes and winter storms, they do a Greco-Roman mythology. Well, they have a sense of humor, because you know what tomorrow's storm is named? Nemo. It's not a funny little shiny fish from Disney. And Nemo in Latin means nobody. Well, I'm pretty well assured that I won't have to worry about finding nobody. It's going to find us. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mike. And Scott.
Thank you, Jeff. Mike, it's been good to be here with you tonight. I'm sincere in my invitation. However this works out, I think the school board will be delighted to have your input and your thoughts in continuing this dialogue. I'm really grateful I've got kids in the school district. I learn a lot from them about what's happening day to day. But I'm concerned about where education is going in this country. I mean, I'm concerned about the competition that our kids are going to face that you and I didn't face when we were growing up. Those folks in India and China, they're studying hard. In fact, some people have statistics that suggest that they're studying twice as many hours as our kids are studying during those 4 years of high school.
Yep.
Now, I don't think the solution is for our kids to study twice as many hours to compete with them. But we have to use the time we've got, leverage the creativity that we have to make the most of the time that they are studying. Because the reality is that that's the people they're going to be competing with, whether they're as engineers or in any other aspect of life. It's because of that changed landscape, because the world is different than it was when you and I were in school, that I think it's important to be involved in planning for the education of our kids in the future. And that's why I want to stay involved in it. I encourage each of you not only to get out and vote, but to stay involved in this dialogue over the next 3 years. It doesn't do any good to keep me as a school board member if you don't stop me around town and tell me what you're thinking, or send me an email, or join one of the informal study committees or one of the formal study committees. Or we're going to try some different ways this year to get more involvement from you. Let me know what you think about those, but one of them is going to be right there during the middle of the school board meeting, if anybody is watching them. We'll try to do Survey Monkeys or opportunities for you to respond to specific questions, specific issues right then, so we can see what it is you're thinking. So you don't have to come down to make a comment, but you can do that from the comfort of your home if that's the way you're spending your time. However it is, we invite you to stay involved in these issues. You're not always going to agree with me, but I hope you'll find me always with an open ear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. And that concludes our debate tonight. And we would like to thank both candidates, Mike Kenny and Scott Earnshaw, for your participation. Thank you very much. And we ask that the citizens come down and attend the budgetary town meeting on March 6th, and then get out to the polls on March 12th to vote for one of these gentlemen. And I'd also like to thank Ken Hawkins, Colleen Richardson, and Bill Jennings for helping manage tonight's candidates forum. And also we'd like to thank BCTV for broadcasting the event live. And please check the BCCU, plug for my own company, sorry, BCTV program schedule for rebroadcasting times of this program. So thank you and good night.